Happy holidays, loves. This video basically is going to be a bunch of different cooking recipes put together that I had done recently, and trying to kind of catch up to the gardening videos as well, and some other videos that I have been making. I think there might be a little extra in this one as well besides cooking, because it went with the cooking if I remember correctly. So we'll see. There's a lot of editing that I got to do in this video, and hopefully it turns out okay is what I'm hoping for. But I do have, like I said, some more gardening videos, and that'll be pretty much coming up within the next few days. It's taken me a little bit longer to upload these videos because I've been hanging outside a little bit more, trying to get more done out in the garden. And so for some reason, ever since the Verizon stuff went down, my internet and everything has been wonky ever since. And I'm not able to upload or do much outside anymore like I used to. I mean, I can still film, but I'm talking about like uploading and all that. And so I'm pretty much out there. And so I'm trying to remember to leave the phone in sometimes and upload these videos. But that's pretty much what I've been doing, that and working inside the house. And so I'm getting a lot done, which is fantastic. It's been needing to be done. And so hopefully after all this and everything, I can start trying to look for some of that remote online working. And then I'm still going to be working on my courses and stuff to the side. I'll explain some more later, but here's the videos. Hey loves, I'm doing it a little differently this time. The egg recipe that I had just recently made, I'm going to go ahead and use different ingredients. We're going to find out together if it's going to be good or not. Basically, I didn't have everything on hand that, because it was supposed to be a bell pepper stuffed egg type, breakfast. And I had to chop it up anyway because I can't do like little boats, like have the bell pepper like that and you stuff it. My son, with him being nonverbal autistic, he can't eat that. So a lot of people that are in a predicament like that as well, where it's, maybe somebody that's elderly or has trouble swallowing or whatever the reason is, usually, some of them might have to be on tubes or something, but someone that can still chew a little bit, I usually like this, have to chop it up pretty small. Just to make sure that, it goes down right. And so anyway, this is zucchini. I'm still going to be adding some bell pepper, some mushrooms, and I'm still going to use the goat cheese as well. But I will show all that in a minute whenever we get there. I just want to let y'all know that. And I might go ahead, if I can, and cut that little watermelon back there that I had to get the other day, and we'll see together what it looks like, as well as I have this healing candle going. It helps with connecting with Buddha and stuff. And behind there, I'm not showing, I have something going. But anyways, so all right, we're gonna go right into it. And if you do a worm composting type thing like I'm doing, of course, just a friendly reminder to save your peelings. What I'm hoping for is to be able to create some different types of egg dishes like that one. And I'm hoping that, therefore, so there's a variety to choose from that hopefully turns out pretty good. We will see. I will slowly be doing these over time, or any type of breakfast thing, and just trying to, like I said, to give a little more options and stuff, and flexibility, and maybe a little bit different ingredients that might be a little bit cheaper or something. We'll see. I'm just going to keep trying. That's all I can do. Another thing, I apologize. I'm not going to give exact amounts because each family is different. And so some people might like zucchini or they prefer squash. And so maybe they want to add squash instead of zucchini, and, and they want to do maybe 5 of them because their family's large, or they want to do just one. And, so that's the reason why in my videos, these cooking ones, I'm not really giving too many exact measurements. Some of them I are, and I let you know because it is from her cookbook. This is still from her cookbook, but again, it's not her recipe this time, because she doesn't use zucchini. She doesn't, so mushrooms and stuff that I'm fixing to use. And she did do the goat cheese though. But like I said, I'm just trying to find extra meals, extra things that we can eat on. And I'm going to show you all the rest of the ingredients in a minute. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm not sharing the exact amounts. So therefore, you're able to figure out what it is that you and your loved ones need. Another thing I do suggest, though, real quick, is that if you're going to put everything together and you're going to throw it in the oven, then I would highly suggest to cut everything to the size, more of a smaller size, so therefore it'll cook thoroughly all the way through. And so, but yeah, it just depends, like I said, what size you want to cut it, but try to keep it all as best as you can, close in size so it can cook through thoroughly. Especially when you got the eggs exposed on top, it can get pretty brown on the top and all of that, depending on how long you're cooking it. So maybe you can get it a little less brown, or if you like that brown or whatever, depending on the temperature that you're going to cook it at and all of that as well. I will probably give that at least the temperatures and stuff, and then just kind of guess with how you're doing it, if you're going to do it the exact type of pan she mentions, or a different method. Like what I'm doing is a different method. So again, just use your judgment and everything, and it should hopefully turn out pretty good. Hopefully. And high chances are, if you're seeing this video, that means it turned out okay, or it turned out really good. So we're going to find that out together. I'm also taking a chance, and I'm going to be adding these mushrooms. I was just thinking too that it probably would not be a good idea to store this because of the mushrooms. So I'd leave that up to you. If you're an experienced cook and you know more of these answers, then definitely go by your gut and everything. But yeah, I would think that this is probably not good to store. So I would think that this recipe is more than likely going to be better to pretty much cook and then eat on the spot. Maybe save a day, maybe. But from what I understand, mushrooms are not good to store. Neither is rice and a few other things too. So it just depends. The rice, because I heard that it mildews like too quick. That it's pretty much best to eat, and then within a few hours it starts to mildew, even if it's stored or not, like in the fridge or whatever, that it already, because I guess the wetness and the texture and this and the other, some reason, creates mold. And so I heard that from a friend that her partner was into cooking and everything, and so he was more of a professional cook, and that's what he was saying, is that they're finding out that rice mildews too quickly, even when trying to store it as well in the fridge. All right, and so now I'm going to be chopping up a bell pepper, and that's what it's looking like so far. So I will be chopping up some different types of bell pepper. It looks like 2 reds and 1 yellow. Well, I found out that the yellow and the other red bell pepper were not in good shape. So I went to my garden, and this was the last that's left. My little pretty babies. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to be that and that. But that's okay. That's why I'm trying to add other ingredients, and I was guided to add other things as well. So this is going to be pretty fun. I don't know how it's going to taste, but we'll see. Oh, and if I am going to salvage these, either I'm going to have to dig them up soon, because it's starting to finally get a little colder at night now. Mm-hmm. We are November the 15th here in Texas, in zone 9B, I think it is. And yeah, so I'm shocked that these are still growing. But with how I felt right now, I barely could tolerate walking on the ground barefoot right now. It was actually cold, and I'm already not feeling well as it is, so that's fun. But that's okay. It's actually going to help because I'm not feeling good. Now, Michael did bring me one thing he wants to add in there. He's determined he's going to get that in there, so I will share all of that in a little bit. And so far, that's the little bit that I got out of my garden, but that's okay. It provided some. And I'm going to try to see if I can maybe save some of those seeds as well. All right, so I was guided, I guess, an onion as well. Well, the reason why this one lone okra I don't want to go to waste is going to go in here as well. Probably not the best choice. I wouldn't choose that, but I'm going to because, like I said, it's just that one anyway, and I don't want it to go to waste. Now that we're starting to get cooler temperatures, I don't know if any more of that's going to grow. Probably not. So I didn't want it to go to waste, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. And I already have the onion, so now that's what's going in next. I'm also going to go ahead and add some garlic, some green onions. I have no idea why, but for some odd reason, I was guided to do apples as well. So these little guys are going to go in there too. I really don't want to, but my little man was like, we're going to put some corn in there. We're not supposed to be eating corn or mushrooms, especially some of the other ingredients that I'm fixing to put in there. I'll explain that in a second. That's for our Naturally Recovering Autism program that we're doing, that we're changing our diet and, things like that. And so corn is a no-no, as well as mushrooms, and especially I'm thinking about adding that to the Philadelphia cream cheese. And the bacon's fine because it doesn't have the specific nitrates and this, that, and the other. I think it's like 2N type things or whatever. But I think, and then we're not supposed to have the goat cheese, and we can have the eggs. So that's pretty much where we're at. And then I'm thinking of topping it with these avocados at the end once I make the bowls, and then I'll cut that up and put that on there. And I'm going to, after I do all of this, I'll probably show what it looks like, of course, in here after I put everything in there, and then we'll stir it up, all that kind of fun stuff. But I will be, like I said, still showing this baby watermelon. We'll see together, what it's done. The vine that was on it was all the way completely dead, and so I was like, well, there's no point in just having it sitting there. And like I said, the temperature's changing and all of that. So I'm just curious if, like the cantaloupe in the previous video, if it went ahead and fully ripened or what it done. The cantaloupe thankfully did, and I was able to save a lot of seeds, but my son got a hold of it the next day, and so I barely got to save any of those seeds. But I did save some asparagus seeds. No, not asparagus. Okra seeds. So that's what those two are in those little containers. And so I did get to save some of those, and so I'm letting it kind of just air dry out and all that right now. And then I will be updating on that, as well as we're going to have a Naturally Recovering Autism video that I'm going to be updating y'all on as well. And I'll discuss all of this after I share all these ingredients and all of that, and the after, and we'll get there with the updates. And here's the end result. I'm going to pretty much be adding like salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and I think that's pretty much going to be it, along with all of this yummy, yummy goodness. But I hope that everything that I added will taste good, so I'm not quite sure. We're going to find that out together. And yeah. Okay, so basically, I can't really give you the exact ingredients because, again, I've completely diverged from her breakfast stuffed bell peppers because I added so much stuff, and a lot of stuff we're not supposed to have either. But you can start maybe the oven depending on what big of a size of the containers or what it is that you're cooking in, that you're using, the bacon dish and things like that. You can start maybe at 375 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius, depending on how much you made and what size and this, that, and the other. Maybe you could go a little higher than that. And then you can do this for maybe 35 to 40 minutes or a little more, or a little less. Again, go with the amount that you did and just kind of, you pretty much know. So, but yeah. And I forgot to mention the eggs, but my little helper, he's going to stir it. Thank you, my baby. You're my little helper. Actually looks pretty yummy. This is definitely going to be more than enough for a few days, but we will see. We're going to be tasting it next. This should last us a few days is what I'm thinking, and so, oh, that's right. I said that I couldn't really store it. I can refrigerate it probably, but freezer, I don't know about that. But hopefully it'll last a few days, and then we'll see. Alright, so before I reveal it, I just wanted to let y'all know that I am definitely looking up more cookbooks. I got some that's in the cart, and we're going to try them out as well. So therefore, I'll be doing basically the same thing. Sharing the website, if they have one, sharing the cookbook and all of that as well. And creating the recipes. I will be making them better, because some people are just, they prefer it to be like, show me it at the beginning, show me the results so I can be done with and just watch your video for about 5 seconds. But, we'll see. I'm trying to get it to that point. I'm trying to have enough time to be able to take the time to have the editing and all of that for the videos like that. But anyway, everything, like I said, is a slow transition. And so soon I'm going to be talking more about this. But I wanted to let y'all know, in case if I do forget and I don't talk about it, that I am getting more cookbooks, and I am working on also right now doing some more from her cookbook right now, for at least maybe 5 days worth of some breakfast, snacks, lunch, and dinners is what I'm hoping for. And if not, maybe I can extend it a little further because, usually I can't eat that many times of the day. So that's going to be kind of a benefit because, like I said, I'll be able to stretch it out even further. So yep, but that's what I want to let y'all know. And like I said, I will definitely let y'all know how it tastes. And I have more updates afterwards. And we will do the watermelon cutting too. I forgot to let y'all know too. I'm going to try to set up the Vitamix, so I finally got it. It's just I hope I have all the parts because it came in a big size box with all these other boxes. And my son has been tearing into the boxes because he loves to burn boxes, which he never did before, but he does. He does love it now. So I'm hoping I could find all of them and then try to set it up in here. And then I got to get the living room area cleared out because I have that one table where it's a mix of things where I'll be also cooking at as well. Like where my, what's it called? Instapot, I think it's called. And things like that will be going in there. Probably like the rice cooker and other things as well. So anyways, I will share all of that stuff with y'all. I just got to get this house in order before I can do all that. But I will be eventually sharing that kind of stuff with y'all. Also, updates about moving and all kinds of stuff's coming up. So we'll see. Alright, so I went ahead and ate it. Yeah, this is my second bowl. But I will highly suggest do not mix the cream cheese or the goat cheese together. Because I was sitting there and I was like, it tastes good, but there's something that's offsetting it a little bit. It's not horrible. It's just not, going to be mouth-watering. Oh my God, I crave this again. It does taste good. The apples was definitely a great touch. Certain of the other aspects was, to me, I think really great. However, just those two combinations, just pick one or the other, and it should taste fine. And then, like I said, whatever other ingredients you want to add in there. Everything cooked through. Everything was good. And like I said, it actually ended up pretty good. So I'll go ahead and share this recipe. It's not, like I said, I would not say, hey dear, this is like top-notch tasting. No. Definitely not that. But if it's just something you want to, oh yeah, I forgot to cut the avocados. I'm going to do that now. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And but yeah, it's good tasting, but like I said, it's just kind of more of lounging around maybe weekend or something, just trying to slap something together and to get a little full feeling and be able to get some work done and, you know, gardening or whatever you do. And so, yeah. In case if you're wondering what the bowl looks like, that's what it looks like. It's a blue rose type flower. All right, so we are going to go ahead and see how this watermelon is. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to find out. Because it right here, it had basically the vine to it was already dead and everything. So, but I mean, it sounds like it's got liquid. However, there was one that I had cut before that was much bigger than this one, and it still didn't have any of the pink and all of that. So, or like barely, like any areas in it had a little bit of pink. But I don't know. We're going to find out together. I'll just let this sit here. I think a day. I don't think it's been 2 days. If so, it's either a day or 2 days, basically. They say that it doesn't ripen. It doesn't sweeten more. I don't know. And that's what they say for letting it sit. But we are fixing to find out what's going on. It's got some pink. Yay! Well, I guess it kind of knew when it was ready, and I mean, I would think that's how, you know, plants and everything are. Like, they know when they're ready, and so the thing, oh God, it smells heavenly. Yeah, just like the cantaloupe, I got really lucky. So those big ones out there too, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. They still have a lot of green and thickness and all that on their vines, so. Oh man, but yeah, we're starting to now get into the lower temperatures. Awesome sauce. So I do know now that, yeah, I'm like really happy on this. I think what I'm gonna do, because I had spent about 2 hours working on the Walmart list to get the groceries and everything that I need for my. I think it's about 6 days worth of food that I'm going to be cooking in one day. And so it'll last hopefully about 6 days. And the meal prep, you know, kind of thing. And so, oh my God, it took forever. And then most of the stuff I already had anyway. But yeah, so I'm kind of a little tired from that. But maybe on the next video, I'll have a little more time to focus and sit down and be able to update y'all on everything and pretty much go from there. But I guess what I'll do real quick is get just a little taste. Oh, it's very nice and juicy. Oh, it definitely is nice and juicy. All right. Sweet with a little bitterness. But very good. And very juicy for sure. Oh, finally. It's crazy. It is literally November, going soon to December, and I'm eating watermelon from my garden. Well, that's here in Texas. Yeah, that one's sweeter. Oh God, it's so good. I would totally share it with y'all if I could. Alright, well, like I said, I'll probably wait till the next video to update. I'm definitely under the weather today. And I'm still, it feels like I'm running some fever and stuff and just tired and not thinking too clear and messing up when I'm talking and all that kind of stuff. So I did some cleaning today, which is great. I haven't set it up yet, but I have it out. My Vitamix. Let me show y'all that, I guess, real quick. And, alright, so I got that. And I don't know how to set everything up, but as I said, I'm going to. It's the Vitamix. I don't know exactly, like, which model. I don't know. I guess that tells you there. I have no idea. But that's, I think, the extra parts with it. And, let me see. It's also going to do the food processor type stuff. the blending. Today's video is not going to be pretty. But as you can see, I have some ingredients there. And yes, that is our Naturally Recovering Autism Program juices that we have to drink. Yummy, yummy. We're fixing to be drinking that. And we got to be using that also for the ingredients and eggs. So what this is called is potato. It's going to be asparagus. Hers is green bean though. And egg salad with red wine vinaigrette. Oh, and I think in this video too, I'm going to go ahead and hopefully open that up as well. That is my garden watermelon. And we'll be getting into that. My cantaloupe is still ripening at the moment. As you can see, it's turning more yellow. I don't know if it's going to be fully ripened or what, but we'll find out whenever I do open that one. And as I said, that is our juices. And so we got to be drinking on that. Before I forget, this was my first morning to try the gut health. It's a morning shot that people do. And basically the ingredients for this is a cup of water, lemon, 1/2 orange, 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar with the mother, 1 tablespoon fresh turmeric, a pinch of pepper, black pepper, 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger, 1 teaspoon of honey, and 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. And the book that I got this one from is The Forgotten Home Apothecary. It is 250 Powerful Remedies at Your Fingertips, and it is by Nicole Appelin, PhD. Oh, I might as well just show you it's a beautiful book. I love it. And so that was my first morning now to try that. Yes, you will have burps, but I can't remember. There was something that you would drink or something with it to help minimize the burps. But anyway, so I will be going into this recipe, and I'm going to show you all the after results as well. Also, very quick about the Drew Barrymore's blender. I love it. It is great. Don't get me wrong, I do. The only thing that I've noticed is the way you clean it. I can't show y'all right now, unfortunately, because of course I got my juice in there that I'll be drinking while I'm prepping. Anyway, like I said, the Naturally Recovering Autism juice stuff. So in other words, that's got elixirs, herbals, vitamins, minerals, this, that, and the other that's in there. But yeah, so if you want to know more, then there's that one channel that I have for that. That we cover this as well. That's solely pretty much for this. I still do gardening and the food and all that as well, but it focuses on this, and so therefore there's extra videos that's not on this one channel. Anyways, okay. I'm kind of struggling because I'm not feeling so well still, but yet while I'm getting healthier, it's just slowly taking time while I'm getting to feeling better. The problem is with this is that it'll hold a lot of like black mildew and weird like white and black and moldy looking stuff and all of that. And no matter how much you scrub it, it does not come off of the rings, and it just sits there. Now some of it does, not fully though, but sorry, my little man, he's trying to be a part of this. He's just interrupting me. He's not meaning to, because he's trying to show everybody that he brought some paper, but I put the paper up. I know, he's my little helper, huh? I'm going to be getting more video of us pretty soon, but yeah, so it basically, like I said, it's harder to clean. So I ordered another company. What I love about theirs is that's the other issue that I have with this. And I will never buy anyone like this, which majority of these personal blenders are. If you cannot put a cover on there, you cannot charge it. You have to wait until it is completely dry after you have cleaned it. There's a lot of complications and everything with it. To me, that's a cheesy business that's basically going to make you buy more and more and more. I just watched a TikTok video as well that her blender, they were showing it. It just kept going and going and going. So they put it outside hoping that, maybe It don't do something funky or catch fire or anything, because it just would not stop. And but yeah, so people are having issues like that as well. And I noticed that too, like this one wasn't working the other day, and then all of a sudden it's working now. So it's acting weird. But like I said, that is dangerous, because how else are you going to clean it? You know, because the blade's with this part, and the seal and the blade and all that. And then you got this plastic part right here, and then that plastic, you know. But like I said, I would show you, but I can't. So it stays mildewy, and then you can't charge it, and then you go through your chargers because you think it's dry, and then you plug it in and you think it's charging, and then you come back and then you go to plug your phone in, and then it's like, uh-oh, you know, it's not working. Then you got to get a new USB cord. So yeah, don't buy from companies like that. They know what either they know what they're doing or they don't, and either or. The point is it's going to make you buy more, because like I said, you got to constantly clean that. That's ridiculous. It's no proper way of cleaning it, and like I said, that there's no cover there. The one that I'm getting does have a cover here, thankfully. I made sure of that, and the price is reasonable, as well as the way that you can tell that the company's ran and everything as well. Like, they are definitely for the people, not trying to make you constantly purchase stuff. So anyway, but that's that, and I just needed to, I've been meaning to make that video anyway to update everybody on, and so at least now you know what's going on with that. If you want to read that, you can quickly pause it. I'm trying to get it to where you can, I think it's clear enough to read. It's kind of hard, but anyway. All right, we're getting on to the recipe. Oh, and by the way, the mushrooms are not meant for this, and we are not supposed to be eating mushrooms, but it just sounded very good together. I don't know, but yeah. Also, like I say in all these videos, basically use your judgment for what you and your family will eat. That one's cool. I thought that's what I was seeing. That one's changing color with my light. I'll show you the light thing in a second. Anyway, so use your, you know, basically how you're going to do it. If you even want to add mushrooms, you might not have to. Like I said, it don't call for that. I'm going to see. I don't think it calls for onions either, but I'm going to definitely be adding that as well. And so I am diverging from her recipe, but I will try to remember to give her recipe as well if you're interested. And so, like I said, just use your judgment on what the amounts and what you want to add, and you might even add extra things that I'm not adding in here, you know. So if you do something like that, let me know too in the comments, and maybe sometime I'll get to check out your recipe as well. All right, and so my little color changing thingy is this, and yep, it's kind of funny. You got a unicorn, a heart, and then a selenite heart, and then the crystal, quartz crystal skull. That's just funny together. And I got some more skulls up there and different crystals and things like that as well. I haven't even fully set that up yet, but yeah. All right, so real quick before we get into the cooking, I will go into more detail afterwards, maybe, or not. Because this video is not meant for my mediumship, but it ended up happening where there's going to be some mediumship, and I apologize for that. But what happened last night is, like how I try to tell everybody and I teach my students, is that we're basically magnets. Some of us are affected to where, whether we watch something, go to the location, because some have to go to the location to be affected. Some of us can watch something from that location and don't even have to step foot on the property and be affected. So it depends on the type of mediumship that we do and a whole bunch of other factors. But anyway, so me, I'm the type where I can do it anywhere, anytime type of thing like that. There's a lot of us out there that do that. So don't think that I'm just sitting here trying to say, oh, look at me, I can do this. But no, that's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But let me explain what happened. So I just pieced it together. I was like, what is going on? And so I'm on like my extreme heavy moon cycle, I think is what some cultures call it, put it in a polite term, like extremely heavy, so it slowed me down from getting things done. But I did get a trellis done yesterday, and I did get some plants repotted the seeds that I had in there. I did get them transplanted, repotted, all that. I still got to set up an area for them though. But I just did that last night, so I got a lot of work to do. But anyway, I did some work yesterday. Oh, and I put a rocking chair together too, an outside one. Okay, so quickly, I'm trying to stay on task here. That way, this is basically a teaching moment for mediumship. So therefore, it'll help some people is what I'm hoping to aim for, is why I'm doing this. Okay, so what ended up happening that I didn't know was going to happen is it all started from a video that I had watched that was the last thing, the second to the last thing that happened. And then I heard growling, like audible growling, which is not good. And so it takes them a lot of energy to get us to physically hear them, basically, compared to telepathically hearing them. Anyway, so what ended up happening is it all started where yesterday I was having like some nightmares when I woke up, or before I woke up. And I can't remember all of them, but when it's a specific type of dream that I have. And we all know our type of dreams and, things like that. Or we at least learn them along the way and all that as well. But anyway, so I've learned, like I said, this particular type of dreams that I have has meaning and usually has something dark in it that pretends to be light. Yeah, that's right, because that was my first dream ever. I almost completely forgot it. That was my first dream. I don't like calling it dream because it's more so nightmare that I've ever actually seen. Okay, so I was in here actually, not in here, but see how it's mirrors that I was talking about in this bathroom? And then it goes into more mirrors. Anyways, you do not do that. That's a no-no. That's basically creating portals and all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah. Anyway, so I was in this area, and that's when I had heard the growling. But so I wake up from the story, the day goes by, and then, sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. And then, that's whenever I was evening time, pretty much getting near night. I think I was actually getting ready to head for bed. And it's like starting to billow in here. But anyway, so I end up coming in here, and that's whenever I hear the growling. And I'm like, I'm just going to ignore it and act like I didn't hear that. Because I know what realm that comes from. And so I was just like, la da da. So I go to the room. And because I had noticed, that I had felt that, that feeling. Because I noticed yesterday, like, when I got up, and at first, the first few hours were real feeling. And then I get outside, and I start doing all the work out there and everything. And then it starts feeling better. But, yeah, the moon cycle can mess with emotions and stuff. But still, I knew something was off. We just know. Anyway, so, after all that, heard the growling, go to bed. While I'm laying there, I'm flipping through some shows. And all of a sudden, I come across this one where I was guided to watch it. And I'm like, man, I guess, So, all of a sudden, here's this little boy that's standing on his crib, screaming and crying for his parents. And he's probably about 2 years old, maybe. Real young, 2 or 3. And that's how the video starts off. And I'm like, what am I watching here? And he's just sitting there screaming, crying. Mommy, help, and all that kind of stuff. And you see his arms up as if like he's being held. Because there's no way you can balance, no matter what age you are, you're not balancing on those tiny, tiny rails. Now, keep in mind, this video was from way back before AI and all that stuff started coming about. So that does help. And plus, it was on Inside Edition or whatever. So it does help to kind of validate it even more. But anyway, so, and then plus, the things that we sense. I didn't want to tap into it. I knew better. But even though I didn't tap into it, it's the fact that I watched it is what happened. So that's where I'm going into. So basically, like I said, the kid's screaming, crying, and all of that, and then the parents do the interview, and the poor kid, you can tell he's like traumatized and stuff. And of course, he has every right to be with what happened, because right when it ends, then all of a sudden you see him just fall backwards and hit real hard and hit his the mobile thing, and but yeah, he was definitely being held. Anyway, so what happened is, the reason why I came here is because, like I said, regardless of what type of medium, well, it is specific type mediumships, but it basically happened to where I pretty much, regardless if I wanted to tap into it, read into it, like I said, they're going to come regardless. If they're meant to. Not every time. Only if it's meant to. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But I figured, okay, well, maybe it was because I needed to be aware about it. All right, back in here where I can breathe. But yeah, maybe I just needed to be aware about, for whatever reason. I just hope it's not something that's, because usually when that happens, it can mean that something soon is going to happen. Whether it's similar like that. It doesn't mean like that. It could just be, like a friend or somebody on the internet going to contact me and say, hey, I'm experiencing things with my baby. Can you tap in to find out what's going on? And then, because that's how we do our readings and stuff too. It's usually previously from our previous experiences to help answer, that's our sign, synchronicities, this, that, the other. Anyway, so it could be something like that to where I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why I had that dream. It's not going to be them specifically contacting me, because that already happened like many, 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 many years ago, like I said. And the kid's probably, and he's got to be teens by now for sure. But anyway, that could happen. I'm not saying nothing cannot happen, but it can happen. But yeah, so if you're experiencing something like that maybe, and you've been questioning, like, is there something dark? Is it demonic? Is it something, and you're watching this video now, high chances could be, not for sure, could be that that's what you're experiencing. If you do want me to tap into it, though, I do have a listing on my Etsy shop for that. I would probably, because I don't like to, see, that's the thing. It's like you have to build trust with each other. And so if I offer to tap into it and be like, okay, yeah, I do sense some stuff, then that's when to me, would be like, okay, if you're able to pay, then, here's the listing for that. Just to make sure that I can tap into it first off. And then, some people would, probably flee then or whatever. That's why I've learned to not give full readings for free and everything like that, because that's what I would do. And I'd be like, well, people are honest. That was before I had to learn reality that people, some are not like that, and not honest and stuff. And so anyway, but yeah, that's another tip too. So if you're a medium and you're trying to do work out there as well, please be careful, because people will take advantage of our niceness and everything. And they'll be like, well, I had the money, but it ended up going on diapers. And they're going to give you all the sob stories. Now, keep in mind, though, it can be true, though. That's the problem. It really can be true. But then you never know. Because, usually the master manipulators are just fantastic at using people's hardships, and they pretend to be, going through that as well, because in their mind, some of them, basically, well, why are you getting paid? You shouldn't be getting paid. You should be doing this for free, and, a whole bunch of other reasons and excuses and this, that, and the other. So, but yeah, so just be careful, when you do things like that from your heart, because like I said, people will take advantage of it, and, and all of that. And so, but anyway, but that's pretty much what happened. I don't know. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is I wasn't going to say anything, but I was just like, well, there's some reason. So either it's going to be teaching, or it's going to be somebody that literally is going through this and they needed confirmation of like, okay, I think something's going on. And then, so like I said, usually when you watch this video, high chances it's, probably a sign or a confirmation, at least, confirming that, yeah, there is something going on. And then, like I said, if you don't want to do my services, that's fine. If you have somebody you trust or your own self or whoever, and the reason why I say your own self, meaning if you're also a professional reader yourself, that's been trained, practiced, and this, that, and the other, because this is dangerous work. It's not, people, oh, invisible boogie woogie. No, it's actual serious stuff. Trust me, it really is. I've had to learn myself as well. But anyway, so, I mean, I didn't have my own experiences. It's just from things that I do, I've learned that away, basically. But yeah, so like I said, maybe those are the reasons why. I don't know. Leave it in the comment and let me know, Be like, hey, yeah, that sounds like what I'm going through. Thank you so much. I'm searching for my local, or whatever, or somebody online that I trust, or, like I said, if you're a professional already, or if you just need that little extra help, you can contact me. There's certain things I can do for free. But if it's going to be one of those things, like I said, I'm being used, dragged out, and my time and my energy and everything's being used on this stuff, then that's kind of when it's like, yeah, I got to be able to afford things too. I got to eat, pay bills. I'm raising my nonverbal, autistic son. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's all I can think of for now. So this is the ending of this video. Sorry that it had to be on a darker subject. It's just, I was just like, hold up a second, what's going on here? And then when I pieced it all together, I was like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and sage and do some, I didn't do the Palo Santo yet. I did the Nag Champa incense though, but that's the Palo Santo stick. And yes, I was playing in mud and dirt and stuff yesterday, so I'm going to have stuff in my nails. See? Dirty. Anyway, I do clean my hands. Over clean my hands. That's the issue, and that's why they're so freaking dry and stuff. So I have like OCD because of my mom on that. She made sure to imprint that on me when I was a kid, and so I got to get out of that as an adult now. But I don't know, I turned it the wrong way with overwashing anyways. But yeah, so that's basically that. If you're wondering, yes, that is my 3 lemons, and I am going to cut this candle up probably today because it is finally, it's not that hard texture. I don't know what it's going to look like inside, and I don't know if it's edible. We're going to find that out because this was green this whole time. In fact, maybe that will be the ending, so we'll have some sort of positive thing for the video, if I can remember to do that. And then, yeah, like I said, those are my 3 lemons, and I got to put some coconut oil on my hands and get rid of all that. But anyway, you just got to put, that's what I did back then, is, and you had to do it over and over, like at least coconut oil 3 times a day or so, and for at least a month or something, and then any kind of spot that you have, it'll get rid of it. Well, not any, but specific types it will. And then people started mixing other ingredients with it and all that. So I don't know how effective that is, but I just did straight up Nutiva's coconut oil and just kept doing it over and over and over and over. And I think that's part because, like I said, me washing my hands too much. Like me looking at it, I don't see all that. But when I do this, I can see that. So I don't know. But I do need to get that fixed. I don't know where that came from. That came from somewhere. But anywho's. But yeah, so I'll be getting all that fixed. Any kind of marks all over my body, especially when it's the wintertime, because it's so hard. Well, depending on, like, we're in the fall type temperatures. This is the time for me to do it. When it gets to like the heart of the winter where you have to run your heater, then that's when it's like, ugh, it goes back to like summer feeling. So putting, coconut oil on you like that and everything makes the body like overheat, and I don't like that. So, but if I'm going to do it, I need to start doing it soon. So anyway, that's some little tips right there as well. Little beauty tips. And, but yeah, so I'll try to remember to show the candle up at the ending, and then I'll end the video that way. All right, so before I completely forget, just because I told you some tips and mentoring and this, that, and the other does not make you, again, does not, make you a professional. If you took my courses, once I have them out and available and this and the other, and you took them in full and everything, yes, you will then. Unless you've already been trained by somebody else in all the steps that I'm, basically saying by somebody else. If not, no. It's dangerous, like I said, to play around with this stuff unless you know what you're doing. And it's not playing around either. And even when you do know what you're doing, you're still going to learn along the way. You're still going to make mistakes, and things are still going to be very complicated. But for somebody that's untrained, do not, like I said, because it is very, very dangerous in many ways. It's kind of like that saying, but I can't use that word, so mess around and find out kind of thing. And then that's when you're going to be begging for help and nobody's going to be around, and it's going to be like, because they take advantage of that kind of stuff. Like they know somebody is not, they don't know what they're doing. They're going in there thinking that they'll figure it out along the way. Because even though that's pretty almost the case, but we're still trained in other areas and things like that as well. So, like I said, there's steps to it. There's processes. Everybody has a different way of doing it. Like shamans will do theirs their way. This type, mediumships will do it this way. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody does it their own way. Some might be a mediumship and a shaman. Some might be, so it's not just limited to those categories. There's other categories. It's just I'm not naming the whole X, Y, A, Z, B, C, the whole thing. Anyway, but yeah, just wanted to let y'all know for sure, do not mess around with it because like I said, unless you are professional, trained, practice, or are training and practicing, and you feel called and you're ready to do something like that, then, and you're ready and you feel it, then go ahead. But like I said, somebody that does not know anything about it, thinks they're going to go in and just head on, and no, please don't. I'm just warning you. That's all I can do. I'm just, I'm not being a caring. I'm not being a Karen. I'm being a caring person. Just letting you know. Much love. So today's cooking video is going to be a little different. I'm going ahead and it's going to be similar ingredients that I'm getting from this cookbook, but it's mostly going to be the way that I'm going to do it, because instead of frying and certain ingredients, I'm going to be putting in the oven and then chopping up a certain way and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I'm going to be chopping up even more than what I was doing is because I just found out that because my little man, he somehow managed to plug one of the bathrooms. And so I'm having a field day, having to clean it out and trying to get it to work again, which it's not. But so I realized that, unfortunately, but it's at the same time good that I saw that he's not properly digesting basically the food. So I'm hoping that if I chop it up even further, because what it is that he doesn't know how to properly chew. And he's just pretty much learned probably to get it in the mouth and then swallow. So, because again, he's nonverbal autistic. And so that's where I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I saw this. This was actually a good thing. So I can try to, like I said, I'm going to have to try to remember from this experience to not, because you know how like our memory is basically you do something for so long and then you start slipping up and you don't remember the reasons why and, things like that. And so I'm going to try to keep in my mind basically what's going on, that, I have to keep it, like this until I can tell that he's basically chewing and, things like that, because we are doing the Naturally Recovering Autism program and it is helping him big time. And so, but until then, I'm going to, like I said, going to end up having to chop things more. So anyway, so the everything's going to be different for this recipe. And I'm going to do it basically, I'm going to be pretty much being guided is what I'm doing. And I think that everything should cook thoroughly, especially because it's going to be chopped so tiny. But we will find out together. There's no name really for it. I'll create something, I don't know. But it is going to have the ingredients of asparagus, potatoes, some onions, bacon, things like that, basically. And what I'm going to do is put it in the oven. And, yeah. The puppy was following Mike, so he's all excited. Excuse the room. Like I said, I'm working on the house. I'm doing the best that I can. But anyway, so that's my little man. He's all excited. Puppy was following him around. I totally forgot to mention that I'm saving these watermelon seeds. I had cut one of the watermelons recently. That's my little man blowing kisses. And I'm kissing him back. But that's watermelon seeds, and so I've been saving some of my seeds. I will show y'all that right quick. Hold on a second. Why did it do that? I'm trying to get it to zoom back. Hold on a second. Yes, this is a mess. I haven't even got to set up my Vitamix yet, but I will. And that is the little seed type packets that I'm putting them in. And so I've saved quite a few already. And yeah, and then whatever seeds that I do get, well, I don't know. That is my own grown. I got two. I think two, right? Or was the other one orange? Maybe that's why. I think I did get one each. So this is the lemon tree, the Meyer lemon. The other one might be an orange tree the more that I think about it. I think so. Because I thought it was 2 lemons. I don't think it is. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, it takes forever to grow trees, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try. But anyway, we'll see. If not, if I save any of the seeds, because it's a very healthy tree, then especially been going through worm damage as far as eating the leaves, the horned worm or whatever it's called, and but it's made it, and so I got the 3 Meyer lemons from it. But yeah, I'll see. Maybe I'll try to save those seeds, and then we'll figure out from there what I'll do with them as well. I'm going to be chopping up some onion and garlic cloves. I'm actually thinking about trying one of my lemons with it. I don't know which one yet, but I was just like, I don't know, it just hit me like squeeze some lemon, because like even though I'm going to put some water in there, I'm thinking about squeezing a lemon too, just to see. I don't know. It might be good. It might ruin it. I'm hoping it don't ruin it, but I guess we'll pretty much kind of find out together. So if you want to try something like that, try it. But I don't know. Okay, I went ahead and chose the smaller one for this because, yeah. Because of the fact that, like I said, I'm trying to not overdo it. I might go ahead and throw those in too. My bell peppers and stuff. And that little 2 cherry tomatoes over here. Because I don't want them going to waste for one, and you know, why not? They're not, it's just going to be a few bites, so I'm just going to do that. I don't think it's going to be great in there, but I don't know. I'm putting it in there. That's what I know. So after an intense full-on crying session, finally got the onions dropped. Yeah, these were like so intense this time. I mean, I just would not stop tearing up. Oh, and that's just basically, I rinsed everything off and cleaned my hands and all that so I could touch things again and hopefully not tear up, like literally just crying. It was crazy. This is super cool. So I just realized, at first I thought of like Christopher Robin, and then all of a sudden I realized, I was like, hold up a second, because my brother, his name was James Christopher, and me and him, our teachers when we were younger, I don't know if y'all's teachers did this with y'all too, but we would be like, what was it, a light in front of us, and then our shadow would be against the wall where the paper was, and then the teacher would draw our outline of us, and then we put it on a poster board like kind of thing or whatever, so it'd be like a silhouette of us. And so I just looked up and literally just realized this, and that's what it would look like, is it would look like a shape like that. Like here, it don't look like a person, but from a distance, that's the reason why I was doing it like that, because you could see like it would look more like at the bottom, like shoulders and then the head. And that's basically how it had looked for us. When that happened and the Christopher Robin thing, basically what it was my brother was saying he's around. And that's another way of mediumship. When you're communicating and everything, that's one way to do it, basically. And so I just want to let y'all know that my brother's around, so he's also saying hi. And we did have problems with stuff like that growing up as well. So it could be a sign because of what I was talking about earlier. It could pertain to my family too. So maybe, someone's struggling with some of that stuff, and then, I'm meant to help them or whatever. Or, like I said, hopefully helpful, learning, mentoring, or whatever for you. But anyway, we're going to get back to cooking now. Oh, yeah, that was a good mediumship thing. So don't worry, that's not what... You'll know what I'm talking about after this cooking video, like I said, because it's at the ending, after I do the cooking stuff with y'all in this video. At the ending is all this mediumship stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and put this in here with the cooking because it was a lighthearted one. It was a good one. And so, but yeah, but you'll see what I'm saying to why I'm saying, oh, maybe it's pertaining to the family, blah, blah, blah. The topics and all that will be coming up, like I said, after the cooking portion. Also, I have to drink my morning shot first before my tea. I'm trying to get away from sugar and black, just plain old black tea and everything. I want to do more herbals and, things like that. So I'm slowly getting all that into what I'm doing in my daily life now. But this is from a book. Hold on a second. I'm taking her course, actually, Nicole Alpine or whatever down there. And this is the book that I got it from, and this is her recipe. It is morning shots for gut health. It is 1 cup of water, 1 lemon, 1/2 orange, 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar with the mother, 1 tablespoon of fresh turmeric, a pinch of pepper, 1 tablespoon fresh ginger, 1 teaspoon honey, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. Mix all of it together with water, of course. Well, yeah, I already said that. And then you put it in a mason jar, and there you go. And then basically you get, how much does she say? She says 1.5 ounce serving. Basically, you're going to mix it with water and everything. So it's not just straight up potent and everything. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's that. That's what I got to drink first, and then that. And then after we eat, then we'll be doing our juices for our Naturally Recovering Autism program. Okay, back to cooking. That was my advertisement of my own helpful advertisement of giving you another recipe within another food recipe video. Alright, so while I'm cutting, and like I said, this is going to be a guided type of dish. I was going to put bacon, but I was like, you know what? I don't think so. I think I want to make it a little bit lighter in a sense. I don't know how you explain it really, but anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that out. And I'm thinking of actually adding some eggs, but not to the dish, to the side. So I'm thinking about boiling some eggs. So if you want to do something like that as well for yours, then there's an option for that as well. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing that because therefore I'm going to try to keep it to where it's kind of more of like a medium type cook with a little texture to the yolk. And so therefore I can like dip some of the food into it if I wanted to, or smash it all together or whatever. But yeah, probably that way, because sometimes, like me, I'm not a big scrambled egg fan. Like the only way that I like it is if I leave it to where the yolk doesn't cook all the way through, and so it's not that hard type texture. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the texture. I prefer the not runny, but like cooked as well. And so that way, but it has a little bit of run, so therefore I can, but more of a jelly run, I guess you would say. And therefore, like if I was to mix it all together, I like that, texture and taste and things like that better for me. But some people might prefer scrambled. So if you want to, you can add scrambled if you want, to this dish as well. If you like, cheese and you're able to do cheese, you can go ahead and do that. There's like endless things that you could probably do with this. I'm just trying to run it with some ideas, and then, you know, like I said, just it's one of those dishes we're just putting together pretty much together. And like I said, you do it your way, and if you like what I'm doing, then, you know, you can do it this way as well. Or what else do you think would go good with this? Definitely leave that in the comments as well. All right, and now we got the garlic chopped up. And also, when I get fully done, because like I said, this is just a creation in the making. So when we get done near the end, I will try to remember everything that we put in there, and then I'll try to list it out at least. So therefore, you know, again, if it sounds good to you, then at least you can grab all the items in or whatever. Because I'll try to have it fully listed. I'm hoping. This delicious, yummy yellow tomato is very awesome. I just wish that I would have been able to have it grow in time. But yeah, it is what it is. But it's okay. If you want to, you can add tomatoes to yours or bell peppers like what I'm doing as well. If you want to, like I said, I wasn't going to. That wasn't going to be my main focus. But, you know, again, just some ideas. Somehow I'm going to have to remember to add this at the end. But this is adding on more to my mediumship mystery. I was just being guided while I was chopping my orange little bell pepper and saving the seeds. But, as you can see, they're in here. And my little tomato too. But okay, so what ended up happening is, I'm thinking now, because last night I was guided to see a notification on my phone, and I thought it was Google Pictures, but then I realized it was OneDrive Pictures. And so I was able to download some of the pictures and the videos and all of that. And there's some of what I'm going to be sharing with y'all, some of when we first moved here, some of whenever I came from my mobile home where I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up in the mobile home, but I grew up on that property beside my property that I was living in at the time with a mobile home, but in my parents' house was a brick home. Anywho's, so the house is still there. It's just been through some flooding, hurricanes, and things like that. But anyway, and so I'm questioning, because with my brother being around, how I was mentioning that earlier, that maybe some of it is pertaining to over there as well. And so I'm going to be contacting them as well. So like I said, either or, it could be for somebody else. It could be for multiple purposes. So it could be for them, for other people. It could be for mentoring purposes. It could be to learn, you know, whatever the reasoning is, there's reasonings for it, and I trust it. And that's what I wanted to mention, was I just realized that it could be also pertaining to that. And these videos kind of help to, in a way, like my own personal journal. So if I have to ever go back to these, whenever I have mediumship or, you know, things like that. Oh, speaking of, that way I can go back to it and then, you know, use it as my journal. Okay, but there's also a psychic type of thing that's happening as well. And that's with Brazil. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that from past experiences, the most recent one was I kept seeing a Carolina bird. It was two different types. I can't remember the names of them right now, but it was two different types of Carolina birds. And so I kept seeing the name Carolinas, and I'm like, what's going on here? And so after a few weeks of constantly seeing that, because I was like, you know, I don't know, then all of a sudden that's when Hurricane Helene went through there. So it could be something, it's going to be on a massive scale, whatever it is with Brazil, but it could be a positive thing, which is what I would hope for. But it might not. It might be, you know, something hopefully not among the lines of that, but it could be weather related. It could be maybe a town related. I don't know, but it's going to be something big. That's all I know. And it's something to deal with Brazil, and I don't know when. I'm not tapping into all of that. I'm not tapping into full details and giving a full, you know, psychic prediction. It's just I'm being guided about that, and so I just wanted to mention that as well. The next ingredient is some asparagus. Yummy yums. I went ahead and added my okra. It was just one piece. I didn't want to go to waste, so I just figured that would be, you know, why not? Go ahead. I am chopping up, as you can see, really little the asparagus as well right now. And that's what I'm working on. And there's the results of the asparagus. And of course, some potatoes as well. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, you know what? Michael does not like anything citrus. Um, I'm assuming from what I've heard before too that their taste buds and everything are kind of a little out of whack, as far as the naturally. I'm so used to saying the program. As far as autism goes, so what I'm thinking of doing is I'll probably hold off and put it on mine afterwards. Um, so therefore it doesn't he doesn't get any. It would be good for him if I could maybe even just squirt just a very minute amount, and just so he can get a little bit of vitamin C. But yeah, so I want to let y'all know that. But I would say if you're going to add it, probably mix it with some water so it's not just lemon, and so therefore everything can kind of cook down, and it has maybe like a light little lemon flavor or just a flavor. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I, I'm hoping. If not, and you feel like, that don't sound good, then don't add it. And that is the potatoes. And so later I will be sharing this with y'all. That is the seeds. Well, yeah. The seedlings basically that I had out in my little greenhouse outside. That's just some of them. I have some more on the table, and so that'll be basically on one of the videos, next video, or the video before this. I don't know exactly which order I'm going to do, so it's going to be one of the orders. So it's going to be one or the other. All right, and so now I'm going to pretty much just go ahead, whatever type of oil you want to use, and whatever type of seasoning you want to use. And then for me, I'm going to be doing olive oil and some salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder, and I'm going to use my hands and swish it around. But anyways, but yeah, so whatever you want to do basically would be this step, and then I will show y'all the next step. And that's what it's going to look like now that I have it in my glass pan. All right, and the reason why I suggest to wrap it is because depending on the temperatures that you want to do it, you want it to thoroughly cook and not brown. Unless you like brown, that's up to you. And when I mean brown, like crispy and things like that. But I'm going to start off doing it this way, and I'm going to do either 350 up to 375. If it doesn't seem to cook after a while, then I might slowly raise it up. So go by your judgment as well, and your oven as well, and how you want to do it. I'm only making this video real quick as a quick reminder, and that's actually kind of funny because right there is a cross shape as well. So basically what I had just experienced with my mediumship experience last night that I was just talking about as well, is that, the demonic realm and all that kind of stuff. And then today I opened up a package that I get from my Sage Goddess program that I'm on and everything, and then all of a sudden I'm opening it up, and then here's some rosaries, and I'm like, what? And then what's so funny about it is that not only was I Catholic and everything, but the heart shape, like rosary beads, were heart shapes, but I think they're made out of opals, which is beautiful. And then the wrist one is like with a rose pendant, which is exactly my favorite flower. And hearts is my favorite shape. And then the opal I love. And then all this Christianity stuff lately surrounding me. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then that, demonic growl and everything that I hear. And so, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of puzzles that's piecing together. And I'm still going to be figuring all of this out, but I needed to leave this as a reminder, to remind me if this is also another puzzle that's fitting in with the pieces, because of how it's literally tying in with just that demonic growl that I wake up to, or no, that I hear in the bathroom over there, and then the dream that I had before the growl. Or no, was the dream? No, the dream happened after the growl? Yeah, because I had to go to bed and then, or something like that. I had explained it clearly earlier, but it's like all piecing together. And the fact of the Catholic, and the reason why the cleansing, and the reason why I left Christianity, and then all of this is like coming back. And it's like, it's just really weird how everything's happening. And then even, they're reminding me too of this right now, and then even this house was very similar to my childhood home. Also being like, for instance, like a house numerology number 4, and then my property over there ended up being house numerology number 3. So it was like a mix of 4 and 3 when I grew up, and then it kind of got split, but it was still kind of the same. Anyway, and so that, and then the Pentecostal church literally at the end of the road, and then literally the Pentecostal church like straight, like in through the woods, is like straight across from us, just like it would be at the other house, my childhood home. And then, because it's also both being Pentecostal, and then what was it? Yeah, the fireworks. We ended up getting a fireworks stand down there, and then speaking of, pretty soon they'll be doing that actually. I'm trying to remember, did they do it October? No, it would have to be pretty soon. That might be what's fixing to happen soon. They usually do fireworks over there as well. And so it's like literally across from me. So like I step outside my front yard and I look straight back, and that's where they're doing the fireworks at. And so same thing. Fireworks, Pentecostal church at my childhood home. Fireworks, Pentecostal church right here. You know, and everything. And then there was, even the trash number. Back in the day when I was growing up, one of the house numbers that we had was 7354012. Well, then over here, there's like a bunch of other numbers with it, but it's also 4012. And I'm like, can this get any weirder? There's so many similarities and stuff, and so it's just very, very trippy. But some reason they're reminding me of all of this. So like I said, it's more puzzles to piece together to get to the finishing puzzle piece.